Hey there, it's me, Elias. Right now you're looking at the balcony of my apartment in Phnom Penh on my first full day of being in Cambodia. As you can see, I have a pretty cool spot to hang out for breakfast, playing music, and whatever really. This is also where I first decided to visit the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum, or as it's more commonly known in Cambodia, S21. S21 was a secondary school transformed into a security prison by the Khmer Rouge during their reign from 1975 to 1979. Because traffic can be quite intense here, and this was my very first outing, I booked a tuk-tuk ride using Grab. Grab is an app that is often used as a replacement for public transport. It allows you to be picked up by a moto, tuk-tuk, SUV, or even to sit in a trailer or book a driver for a full day. But anyway, with the help of a very nice driver, I was able to arrive at the museum in practically no time. Since the museum is a place of mourning, education, and remembrance, it's important to be respectful. One way of being respectful is dressing appropriately, but this is where I kind of messed up. I was wearing shorts. Luckily for me, the staff said it was okay for me, as well as others, to enter. Maybe it was because it was a very hot day, or maybe it's just because the Khmer people are very friendly and hospitable, but I was very grateful not to have to return to my apartment. Upon entering, I was faced with what's known as Building A, as well as a gravesite for 14 victims of Angkar. Inside the rooms of Building A, you will find beds left by the Khmer Rouge where people were tortured into giving false confessions of imaginary crimes against the regime. Inside the room, you find pictures of the 14 deceased victims found upon the seas of Phnom Penh. Some were identified, but most were not. It's estimated that a quarter of the Cambodian population died during the reign of Angkar. One thing that struck me in particular is that smiling is also not allowed, or at least discouraged. Posted outside of Building A are the rules that were enforced during the running of the prison. And here you see footage of Building B, which was used for detainment of prisoners. The ventilation was intentionally modified to trap heat, and barbed wires were wrapped around the building. Inside were small cells, just big enough to contain individuals undergoing confessional trials. This is a picture of Bophana Huot. She became the face of the tragedies, remembrance, and many stories of the time period in which the Khmer Rouge or Angkar reigned. I highly urge you to look up her story. I also want to take this time to warn you for the upcoming description of what was called mild torture by the Khmer Rouge, a sign posted outside of Building B.
Dance, make them dance, boy.
The next building, Building C, contains evidences of the gruesome crimes committed by the Khmer Rouge, or Angkar, committed during their reign. These evidences take the form of documentation of the victims, their stories, remaining clothes, instruments of torture, and human remains. Needless to say, exploring this history can be an intense and exhausting experience. Instead of showing you Building C, you may see the screen where visitors of the memorial are urged to send in their thoughts and prayers to those who suffered and are still suffering at the hands of Angkar, as well as the memorial monument and the names of known victims who died in S21. Nobody has ever managed to escape S21. Only 7 adults and 5 children survived the prison upon abandonment of the facility by the Khmer Rouge before liberation by Vietnamese soldiers. There were at least 167 other facilities like S21 in Cambodia. It might be strange to have picked this as my very first outing, but I was really grateful to have gotten the opportunity to see this museum. It's a strong confrontation with what is still a healing wound in Cambodian society. It allowed me to better understand the country and gave me an understanding of a history that I had never been taught before. If you want to know more about this particular part of Cambodian history, you can find some recommendations of sources in the description below this video. Orkun Chran, thank you for watching this vlog. I hope I have time to make a few more vlogs, most likely more lighthearted.